All right, so I want to dive into this game just a little bit, but honestly, guys, it's very obvious what the issue is. Okay, it's very obvious. Clan, you lighting the beam too. I love the purple background. The background's always purple, okay? But yes, we're lighting the beam today. All right, congratulations to your Sacramento Kings. So this game, guys, not great. Not great. If you're a Spurs fan, it wasn't beautiful. Okay, it wasn't pretty. So this segment is sponsored by BetUS, so I'll start off with that. So we'll talk about the game, talk about our sponsor, and then I'll answer even more questions, or we'll just kind of see where the conversation takes us, right? But I'm gonna give you my overall thoughts about it. Okay. So first and foremost, I know that a lot of people are gonna instantly, it's like insta lock. It's like you're playing Marvel Rivals and you're insta lock into DPS. Okay, people are gonna insta lock and say, "Here's my answer: player's fault." Easily. Here's my answer: Devin Vassell, bad shooting performance. Here's my answer: bad defense. They got to play better defense. Like, yeah, that's sure. Like, yes, Devin Vassell could have played better. Obviously, 10 points. That's not great, right? But I'm gonna tell you guys, these lineups are horrible. Absolutely horrible. And I think at this point, Chris Paul is going to start. And if you're going to just have Chris Paul, and this is not disrespect. I think last video when I mentioned Chris Paul starting and how it was bad, people said that, like, or a few people, and it wasn't a lot, but a few people were like, why are you turning on Chris Paul? It's not me turning on Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul is really great for this team. It's just that he doesn't fit with De'Aaron Fox. You can't move De'Aaron Fox to the shooting guard position and then just kind of play point guard by committee, because those two play completely different games. It's ugly basketball. It doesn't work. It hasn't been working. So this starting lineup, you don't have a legitimate center or big man that you can rely on as far as pick and rolls. If Sohan was starting, you would be able to do that more often. You don't have a defender, so Castle's on the bench, Sohan's on the bench. These guys aren't good enough to defend starters in the NBA. They just aren't. But you give yourself a fighting chance if you throw Sohan in the mix, right? There's like lack of creativity as far as getting these guys to play. And what's really telling is the plus minus. So I think this is a situation where we can look at the plus minus. When we're looking at an individual player, it's very difficult to judge how they did based on their plus minus alone. But if you group it together, I think that you have a pretty good understanding of what's going on, right? So some people, I mentioned this a few games ago, that the plus minuses have been horrible for our starting lineup, but then our bench has been all right. That's not normal. It shouldn't be that way. So like, you can look at our last 3 games, right? I guess we'll just start with that. Last 3 games. So this is the Kings one, as you can see, -19, -21, -17, -19, -13. And then when you go to the bench, +2, -2, +1, +6. Come on. Last game against the Thunder, same issue. -15, -19, -21, -22, -25, +5, +5, +2. Well, I shouldn't count Mamu. He only played 2 minutes, but we'll just count these 4. So 0 for Steph Castle, +2 for Keldon, +5. Or actually, hold on. Actually, I'm all over the place. 0 for Sohan. It's weird how they got these orders. Okay, 0 for Sohan, +2 for Keldon, +5 for Julian Champagny, and then 0 for Steph Castle. So once again, the bench did well. And then you look at the Rockets game. These are the last 3 losses, mind you. -17, -21, -20, -20, -18. And then you go to the bench, and as you can see, Blake Wesley played 11 minutes. He had plus 11, excuse me. Keldon had a -8, not too bad. Sohan -1, only played 12 minutes. Julian Champagny +3, and then Mamu +8. This is a continuous theme. And if you think, oh, well, it's not this lineup in particular, it absolutely is. So since the All-Star weekend, you can see that the worst possible lineups that we've had involve De'Aaron Fox and Chris Paul playing together. So we can see the starting lineup right here. They have an overall plus minus of -2.7. And then the other one in which you just take out, let's see, who do we take out? Biyombo, and it's Sohan with Chris Paul and De'Aaron Fox, negative 3.3. So yes, when you playing these two together, it doesn't work. It's ugly basketball. It doesn't work. And it's been a net negative since doing this. So I want to bring that up because before we can start blaming the players, because I have an order of things, right? I always look at what is the organization doing? What are we doing to the front office? Are we putting our guys in a position to win? And I think that we definitely are doing that as far as the future draft picks, the amazing trade for Fox without giving up anything, making sure that Wembanyama, catching that really quick and making sure Wembanyama gets the time that he needs. Shout out to Wembanyama, by the way, for actually showing up to this game. Like, true leader right there. So yeah, like I think our front office is doing their job. And then I look at the coaching and I'm like, are we putting ourselves in the best possible position to win here? I don't think we are. I don't think we are. You know? What is the meaning behind plus minus? It's just basically a net. How do I explain it? It's just basically how these guys are doing versus the other team. Like, did they score more than the other team? And overall, they had a net negative difference. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. Hold on. We'll just AI Google it. They'll give a better explanation than me. Here we go. In the NBA, plus minus is a statistic that measures how many points a team score changes while a player is on the court. It's used to evaluate a player's impact on the game. So this is you can't really do it with individual players necessarily, right? Because let's just say, I don't know, like let's say Sohan had a net negative, right, and everyone else had plus 1, plus 2 or whatnot, but he was out there with multitude of different lineups. You can't really just say, oh my God, he was the problem. You don't know, right? It could have been the lineups that made it pretty rough on him. But when you're looking at groups, I think it's totally fine to see that all your starters are in the negative versus your bench who are in the positive and say, yeah, this is not, something's not right here. You know what I'm saying? You got to take it as a group. It's more of a group statistic. It's a team statistic. So it's not good to just use it for one player, right? Like I could easily, for instance, look at these games and be like, oh, De'Aaron Fox, a negative 20? Oh my God, he's so trash. He is so garbage. Get him off my team. But no, when you actually look at him with different lineups, he's not bad, right? We have a overall good plus minus as a team. So it's not just him. It's the lineups. Gotcha. Yeah. That's all it is. Hopefully I explained it okay. I'm not really good with explaining analytical things, but I mean I know what it is. But anyways, so what happened in this game? What really irritated me? Well, guys, it's the same issue we've been having all season long. So it's not just the starting lineup. It's also the inability to make changes mid-game, right? Like, it was very obvious who had the momentum during the second quarter, right? The momentum shift, it seemed like we were in the game, momentum shift, and the Kings just started whooping on us. And rather than the Spurs running more of Sohan and Champagnie together, because I think that those two actually did a pretty decent job, specifically on the wings. In the second quarter, if I'm not mistaken, it took them forever. Hold on. Control fine. When did Sohan get in the game? All right, so yeah, so he started the game in the third, and you put Biyombo in. They started to gain momentum and end up getting a 11-point lead, and then you put Sohan in. And you desperately, and I only say this, I'm not saying because Sohan is our savior and he's a superstar and he's just going to kill everybody. I'm just saying that Sohan being a great defender like he is, there's no reason, like you have to play him more. Like you have to in this game. In that when they started getting going like that, you have to. You took a full timeout, kept basically the same lineup. Not actually basically. I think he just kept the same lineup out there. Let's see. Yeah, kept the same lineup out there. Meanwhile, DeMar DeRozan got subbed in, but we kept the same starting lineup essentially, right? I'm trying to think. It's kind of hard to keep up with just from the play-by-play. Like I told you guys, when I watch the games, I have my thoughts, and as it goes on, I feel like something happened, but I always want to go back and make sure that it's not just my fifis, that it actually did happen the way that I thought it did. But yeah, it did. Jeremy Sochan coming in the game too late. The momentum shift has already kind of began. He did a good job defensively, but like, you got to make those adjustments quickly, and he didn't. And then the third quarter is what really made me sick. The third quarter, after the Kings have gained their momentum, we went with our starting lineup again. Oh, why? Look at this. Look at this. Ellis makes a 3-point. This is 11:23 seconds. I'll be real with you. After this, timeout. I don't care. Timeout. This is an issue. Maybe after the second 3. So Ellis hits a 3. Levine hits a 3. Levine hits a 2-pointer. De'Aaron Fox makes 2 free throws. Jonas Valanciunas makes a 3-foot dunk. It's like, dude, come on. Timeout. You got 2 personal fouls for Biyombo. Timeout. But no adjustments. They just go in their run, and then by the time that we start putting better defenders out there, we start looking better. We even looked a little better offensively as well, but now it's just a game of catch up for the rest of it. It's just not in-game adjustments. That's the problem. You know what I mean? Not a fan of his, but this is not on Mitch. Can you please explain to me, after I just said all of that, can you please explain to me how this is not on Mitch Johnson? When you start a game and it's very obvious that, not even just starting a game, screw that. When you look at your last 2 losses, and your plus minus for this team is a net negative with the starters, and you go into this game, and to set the tone, you start those starters. And to set the tone in the second half, you start those starters. And when the team goes on a run, the Kings go on a run, you don't make adjustments to put actual defenders out there expeditiously. How is that not on the coach? I don't understand. Roster construction is awful. It is, but you have to be a little creative. I mean, I don't even think that that's that creative, right? It's not guaranteed that we win. It's not guaranteed, but you at least put us in a better position than we are. There's no winning this. There's no winning going against the Kings with that firepower of their starters versus our starters and thinking we're going to do anything. Offensively, you don't have a pick and roll threat. Offensively, you don't have that great of scoring. You have 2 point guards with different ideologies on how they run the offense. You don't have a legitimate defender. Why not? Why not just adjust it? Do it. What good are you going to get out of that starting lineup? None. We made a promise to Paul clan. It starts there. Well, you know what? If that's the point, if that's the situation, then you know what? It's awful to say it, but like, throw Fox to the bench then. I mean, you got to figure something else. I mean, you have to figure out something, because that's just not going to work. Shut Fox down for finger surgery. That's what you got to do, man. That's what you got to do. Flag not going to the East. Just 20 more games. This right here is pain, bro. I hope that I articulated what I think the bigger issue is. It's hard for me to jump, and I guess it's just the way that I see things. It's hard for me to jump to what did each individual player do wrong in this when we're set up to lose. You know, like it's too much. Like I can't sit here and be like Chris Paul should have done this at this point, and De'Aaron Fox, well, he really needs to, and Devin Vassell. It's like this lineup is screwed to begin with. It's an uphill battle. Not only do you have to play your game and be productive, you have to be productive with the unproductive lineup. You have to play catch up. Those are my thoughts on this game. Okay, I don't really have any individual. It's the same thing. I mean, how I felt about Keldon in this game, how I felt about Soha in this game, how I felt about Devin Vassell. Obviously, he's inconsistent. That's going to happen. How I felt about a lot of these guys, nothing changed. It's just this lineup is just frustrating, bro. Like you're just sitting back watching it like, wow, we have no shot at this. You know? Your team is too small. The Kings had the same issue before the Fox trade. Oh, yeah, we're definitely small. We know that. Yeah. Not having Wemby really hurts us, too. That's why you have to be even more creative. And can I say this? One thing as well that I would like to bring up is when the team is this small, it takes even more creativity, right? And when it comes to finding a coach, because Pop said that Pop believes that he'll be back, right? We don't know for sure. But what I do think is, these are just my thoughts. I think that if he does come back, it's going to be like a year, right? I don't think that it's going to be long-term at all, right? And the Spurs are going to have to be searching for a coach. When I say that we can be patient, I am strictly talking about players. When I say that the Spurs can be patient as far as don't rush anything, make sure that we can create this dynasty, because you can go out and get some veterans, right? And maybe win quite a few games, make it to the playoffs. You can give up all your draft picks and do that and be successful in the short term, but long term, it's not going to be a dynasty, right? So I feel like there's no rush when it comes to making sure that you have, good enough players so you can set up the foundation for a dynasty. So I'm with that. I'm with the patience there. Coaching wise, I am not going to be patient with it. You can't be patient. We can't wait for Mitch Johnson to develop. I don't think that he's going to be like our next coach. This wasn't even the plan. No one knew what would happen this season. And he's a fine coach, but I think he's just a fine assistant coach. And, maybe one day he'll end up being a really good coach, but we can't sit and wait for him to develop with the players or anything like that. Like, you're going to have to get an established coach. That's something you can't wait on. You know what I mean? Yeah, people keep saying Mike Brown. I'm not a fan of Mike Brown. Mike. I'm not a fan. G Money, he's a Kings fan. He said don't do it. I'd never been a big fan of Mike Brown. UConn coach? That could be good. My dream is Messina. That's not going to work. Or that's not going to happen probably. Steve Kerr, if he were to walk away from that situation, but they're looking better. And then obviously people brought up Becky. Yeah, Becky Hammond. Yeah, everyone brings up Becky. I'm not the biggest fan of Mike Brown though. Monty Williams. Monty Williams would be a good coach. Anyway, all right. So I'll look at your guys' comments and we'll talk a little bit more. But before we do, big shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this segment. If you guys are interested at all, just head on over to BetUS. Use promo code YouTube150. You'll receive 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% bonus on your second and third deposits, up to $2,000. So let's see here. All-Star specials? There's one for All-Star special? I don't get it. Will the 2026 All-Star game be played with a new format, USA versus rest of the world? What? That's a thing that they've been talking about? Wait, what? The USA versus rest of the world? Like a mini Olympics? Like what? Yes, please. That would be wild. Wait. So like you... Oh, okay. Would it be like... Like, I don't know how I feel about this. Would it be USA NBA players versus foreign NBA players? I don't know, man. Too many point guards? Yes. That seems a little, I don't know. I wouldn't like the discourse around that one. It's some weird people out there, y'all. It's some weird people out there. It's some, especially journalists, like ESPN journalists or whatever. They're pretty xenophobic. I don't know. That'd be whack. I mean, I wouldn't say he'll be whack, but like, I don't like the divisiveness of that. That's a little weird. Yeah, I don't like this one. I don't like this one. But hey, if that's something you want to bet on, go for it, I guess. Don't look like you'll get too much from that. Like $15? Yeah, $10 to give you 15. So hey, you don't have to risk that much for that. But if that's something that you guys are interested in, please head on over to BetUS and use those promo codes that I talked about. They also have casino options as well. So a lot of good stuff there. But that's a weird one. I haven't heard this proposed till now, to be real. Anyways. HEB commercials make me want crawfish. You like crawfish? I don't like crawfish. I know. Monty Williams was an all-star level coach. Yeah. So that's how I'm feeling. So this isn't a segment to just dog on Mitch Johnson, right? I don't want to do that. I don't want to just dog on Mitch Johnson. I think Mitch Johnson is a good assistant coach. You're not going to be coaching the San Antonio Spurs unless you are a good coach. I think that we have enough evidence of that over the years. But as far as him being the starting coach, it has been lack of adjustments. It has been lack of creativity. Not saying you have to rock the boat too much, but wow. I mean, is it controversial for your team to just start Sohan at center and say screw it? Actually, yeah, if you want to start Chris Paul and De'Aaron Fox, at least give us some advantage. You get what I'm saying, guys? At least give us some positive from the starting lineup. Even if you want to stick with Chris Paul starting with De'Aaron Fox, give us something that would help us set the tone. Give us something that gives us somewhat of an advantage over some teams. This gives us no advantage over basically any team. You know what I mean? Fox sucks for us, Clan. I don't know why. Fox doesn't suck for us. It's okay. He's adjusting to playing with these guys. But the reason why Fox looks so bad is genuinely because he's out there with Chris Paul. Well, he does need surgery on his hand, but he's out there with Chris Paul. Like, it just doesn't work that well. They don't play off each other that great. Chris Paul slows things down the half court. You will see plays. Pay attention next time you watch a game. You will see plays in which De'Aaron Fox might have had an open lane. Like, he'll get the ball coming down the court, right? He's bringing the ball down the court. And in a regular De'Aaron Fox game, he might take advantage of the defenders being out of position a little bit or not paying attention, and maybe he just goes downhill. Have we really been able to feel the effect of De'Aaron Fox's speed? That's like his number one attribute. We have not been able to feel it because he'll come down the court and give it to Chris Paul and let Chris Paul set up a half-court offense. But then even the half-court offense isn't that great because we don't even have a pick-and-roll threat, really. Like, you don't have one. Your best one is on the bench. So if we do run with this offense, I'm content, but like you have to start somebody that can give us advantage, whether it be Castle defensively that can help us, move him to the 3, you know, or actually you might have to move him to the 5. You can't put him in the center. I mean, not 5. You move him to the 4, because if you start Chris Paul and De'Aaron Fox, I'm not putting Devin Vassell on the bench for Castle. But you got to figure something out. You know what I mean? You got to figure something out. That's all I can say about it. Clan, it's a wrap, brother. Mitch won't even consider it. But it's like, if the main thing is just making sure if the main thing is just making sure that if the main thing is just making sure that you don't make Chris Paul upset, then start him and just move Barnes. You got to do something. This is just bad. I hate that we have to like bend over backwards and try to adjust to say, how could we make this Chris Paul and Fox offense work when it's just not pretty basketball? I don't even know if CP3 going to be in the league next year. No, he's not. And it's not necessary. I'll say this too. It's not necessarily a bad thing that the Spurs are losing, by the way. Like, we need good draft picks. But it looks like our initial thoughts that the Spurs could get to 35 probably stays true, right? That's probably what we're going to aim for, is 35. I was hoping for the 40s, but not with this starting lineup. And not with Wemby being out. Just not going to happen. Anyways, any more thoughts, guys, about this game? Our pick is crucial. Don't rely on Atlanta's. Can someone relate to me what's going on with Atlanta? Have you guys been watching? I have not been watching Atlanta games. I'll be transparent. I've been super busy. I've barely been able to watch the Spurs. I mean, I've been watching, but you know. Hawks been winning. Hawks been winning. I thought they were losing. They last time I checked, like a week ago, they were losing big time. Supposedly Spurs are interested in Jaden McDaniels. What do you think? I thought we've been interested in Jaden McDaniels before. All right, that needs to be a segment. I did not know about that. I could have sworn that was something before. I would 1,000% bench Vassell for Castle, bro. I wouldn't. Vassell already has some confidence issues and trying to get his shot going. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you don't want to do that. Keep him in the starting lineup. He's not the issue. He's not the issue. We're such a bottom feeder franchise. The Hawks are better than us. Whoa. The Hawks are not better than us. All right. We just don't have Wemby. They have been getting hurt a lot. All right. We'll look at the Hawks and then get out of here. See what the Hawks looking like. Hawks. Atlanta Hawks. Okay, they beat the Pacers. They lost to the Bucks. They beat the Grizzlies? Oh, I thought that was an instant loss. They lost to the Thunder. They lost to the Heat. They won against the Heat. They lost against the Pistons. It's been more losses than wins, guys. Yeah, last 10 games, they're 4-6. More than likely, they'll be in the play-in. Hopefully, they just lose the play-in. What are we, 1-9? No, we lost. We've been win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. We're 3-7. I mean, that's not good, but like, it's not that much different than 4-6. Why'd you think that? We've been excited. We've been having some good games. Some fun games. Every other game. Compare their records to ours, though. 26-35. 29-34. It's not that big of a difference. They're also in the East. I mean, our win percentage is 42.6%. Theirs 46%. It's not that different. Mavs missing the playoffs. I'm calling it right now. Bro, that is so sad. I feel so bad for Mavs fans. Anyway, it's in this segment. It looks like we're kind of over this game, right? Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for interacting like you do. So actually, let me say this. Say hi to YouTube. I need to do that more often, right? Because like live streams are kind of separate. I haven't done an individual video with just me in a long time. Like, you guys definitely drive it. So tell YouTube what's up. Everyone say hi to YouTube. We should do that every segment, honestly. Say hi. Come on. Come on, chat. Come on. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Light the beam. No, we're not. Hi, YouTube. Thank you. Thank you, Hot Spur. Thank you. Jeez, he's like the only one. All you guys are losers. All you guys are losers. Light the beam again. Hi, Twitch. Hi, Mom. G Money Kings ain't making the playoffs. Doesn't matter, bro. Hi, Mikasa. Mikasa asleep on the bed right now. Do I say hi to myself? Well, you're saying hi to the YouTube people that's going to see the video later, not hi. Yeah, I don't know. Why would I tell YouTube hi? I don't know. Who cares? I don't know. Yeah, what is it? It was a stupid idea. I'll go cry in a corner now. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this segment. Hi, YouTube. Okay, there we go.